Good evening, this is DJ Roob, host of Not So Serious Radio on KKSM, Palomar College Radio. And we are coming at you live, sort of live, from the Pacific View Art Center in Encinitas for yet another Pacific View session. These are sessions that are put on by the city of Encinitas to showcase artists in our local San Diego music scene. And tonight, we got some more of those artists here. We've got Montalban Quintet. Hit it.
Receive kisses from everyone, but he don't give me none. I receive kisses from but he don't give me none. What about my face? Ain't no surprise. What part of him can I excite? Where's the place in his big mind that I shine, that I shine. but he don't give me none. But it do don't.
Yeah, Montalban Quintet, Pacific View Sessions. Welcome, everybody. Good to see y'all. Thank you. Of course. So we got a designated spokesperson for the group. We got Mr. Chris Prescott. Thank you for signing up for that.
Sure.
Would you please introduce your bandmates?
This is Francesco Lee. This is Jim Weiss. This is Carl Prescott. This is Julie Kitterman. This is Greg Friedman.
Hello, everybody. So we were talking before the set started here about the last time we were all together in the same room, which was in 2018 at KKSM, Palomar College. You did an in-studio performance for us then. The lineup, pretty similar to what it was. I'm glad we're all still here.
Yeah.
And our setting is a little different tonight. Yeah. So the last song we just heard was Lava Lamp, and that's going to be on a new album that you guys all have coming out pretty soon called Sinfonia. Would you like to talk about that one for a bit, Chris?
Yeah, well, let's see. So that song's fairly new in the batch. So the material on the record actually spans back quite a ways. So sometimes like we'll have songs that we'll record, but they don't, like when you make a record, you can only fit so much on a side, right? You can't make them endlessly long. So sometimes you have a song that you like, but it doesn't quite fit. So we have some songs that go back to like 2013, and then other ones that are from like last year, But everything it's like it kind of cooks for a while. We don't just like make it and then we're done. It sort of like sits around for a little bit and then tweak it. And some stuff actually you'll end up revising over and over again, which can be kind of a problem, but.
Yeah. So some of those older songs that they get informed by, I guess, some of the newer tracks on the album.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, because like you do something, I mean, in some cases like 10 years ago, and then you go to work on something new and you're like, oh, I would have done that differently now. So you can kind of go back and tweak things. And essentially you want to make something that sounds like a group of songs that go together well.
Right.
And so that's why sometimes stuff gets left off. Like even if you like a song a ton, it doesn't necessarily fit with the whole group, but the Lava Lamp is one of the new ones, and yeah.
Was that one that's been lingering for a while?
No, Lava Lamp's pretty new.
Okay.
That's pretty new, yeah.
Sorry if you said that already.
No, that's right.
So you mentioned 2013, but I think the band goes back in time even a little bit more. 2011, perhaps?
Yeah, well, the first record's 2011, but we were recording it the year before, so so 2010 is when we first started working on the songs.
15 years. Y'all look exactly the same.
Yeah, right. But yeah, it's been cool. Mostly it's just the same group of people. And Checo's joined us more recently, and but yeah, it's super grateful to play with these guys.
And then the recording process, it's actually done at your studio here in Encinitas, the Belly of the Whale. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so the recording process is kind of in the past a little more piecemeal, like people are living in different parts of the county, so sometimes maybe I'll have someone come over to work on something kind of individually, and lately we've been moving towards getting stuff to be a little bit more live performances. But it's also I'm the engineer for it, so sometimes it's hard to let go of that control of each detail. And when we play live, it gets a little bit more wily. So you get the good and the bad with that. But we're definitely moving towards like at least rhythm section, doing live performances, and then maybe doing the horns separately, or but who knows? Like each record's been a little bit different. We're actually already halfway through writing the next one. So
wait, what?
Yeah.
Is there no rest in this band?
Well, actually, this record they've been sitting in my garage since March.
All right, fair enough.
So yeah.
So so there's 6 of you, even though I read it says a quintet. Like how do you manage the practices and getting everybody in the recording studio at the same time? And how do you make these songs gel?
Well, I mean it takes a little bit of work to wrangle the cats, but I think we all really enjoy hanging with each other and enjoy doing it. Otherwise, I mean, it's like we're not making any money, so we have to be doing it for other reasons, and we do it because we just like spending time together, and it's like a social club, really.
Yeah.
And then so we make an effort to get together to hang out and work on songs. And I wish we did a little bit more than we do, but it's just hard. We get busy with life, and we're in different parts of the county. I mean, a couple of us are here, but
What does that balance out to? Like once a week, or
yeah, just generally probably once a week.
Okay.
And if we have stuff going on, like we practiced a couple days ago, and then here we are again. So it's like, and even when you play, it's sort of like a practice. So, like there's a place we play at Panama 66 down in Balboa Park, and sometimes we will do very little preparation, and then we'll show up and play 2 hours. So, but we've been playing together for a long time, and even though we're definitely not a jazz band, there's sort of that spirit of you kind of have to trust in the band, and you have to trust in a little bit of the spontaneity of the moment.
so there's some improv that's happening.
Yeah, for sure, for
Okay.
sure.
Did any happen just before our eyes here?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did everybody see that or hear that? I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Charles said, I know for me personally, I'm always trying to play it a little different every time. I mean, you don't want to throw anyone off, but of course the horns are doing a lot of stuff that's in the moment.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think we all are. Yeah. But like I said, we're not a jazz band, but there's a spirit of that's definitely a part of the music.
Yeah. You made that clear.
Yeah.
You're not a jazz
Hey,
band.
if you could please stop saying the word jazz band.
No hashtag. Jazz band.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a very good backstory, and I'm sure you've got some more music for us. So why don't we settle into the next set? I believe you're going to start with Queen Crimson, which is also on the upcoming album Sinfonia.
Yes.
All right. Montalban Quintet, Pacific View Sessions.
two, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I can clear my head. I look to my left and I feel my insides turn. Whoa, not chasing the seems so simple with the simple mind. Every creature on its right to conduct daylight. Message sent is a message read. To think what you put into a younger head. All no result, cause and effect. That's why I don't know why you let your children chase the birds. My God, must be the beat of her sound. 'Cause I would praise her until the end of time. I thought she could grant me somehow. You might want to sit down, spread some more of that protection. Sailing to town on a panic shell, racing in a direction. Free me from taking part in the pain and all this going around me.
Yeah. Montalban Quintet here at Pacific View Sessions. Oh my God. That song, Submarine, it's going to be on the new album, Sinfonia. I think I wet my pants. That was so good. Wow. I love that song. It's the first time I've heard it. Thank you. You made my day. Yeah, that was excellent. And I was admiring Julie's high-tech clothespins earlier, too. So the question on everyone's mind is, why is this band called Montalban Quintet? I know, but we need to tell the story.
There's a place called Montalban's Quintet, and so I heard about that place, and it sounded like a band name, so therefore we took it. So it's a place, but so we've never actually been a quintet. We were 7 people for a long, long time, and then now we're a sextet, I guess. But But yeah, that's the boring story.
But it's on the. I can add a little more information because I know it's.
Oh
on
yeah,
the,
sure.
The band, the Montalban Quintet, is some kind of sonically superior stairwell at the UCSD campus.
Yeah, Mandeville. So okay, all right. So, I spent a lot of time at UCSD as a kid. I used to live in La Jolla, and so we would go up there in the middle of the night and skateboard around and just kind of cruise because it was just sort of an open space. And there was a lot of times we would be creeping around the art buildings and Mandeville, and there's a stairwell there with lots of graffiti and spray paint, basically like art. It's a neat spot. And then when I was a student there later, I hear this guy making music in the stairwell and ended up meeting him and became friends. And that's Hermie Montalban. And so that he would be in there kind of scraping the handrails and sort of just messing around and kind of howling and making the whole stairwell resonate. And he was sort of creating this whole soundscape there. And so I was listening to him and then eventually met him and we became friends. But that he called that place the Quintet. That was his quintet.
There were 5 stairwells or 5 railings?
5 railings, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think, have you gone back to recreate that ever?
No, I haven't been back there in quite a while.
Oh, sounds like road trip.
Yeah, right.
Band picture.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Or it could be in the documentary about the band.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that. So we've got this new album coming out. We've got a few shows to support that. And while I'm not prepared, because my notes are on the floor, but coming up, we got October 5th at Casbah. You're opening up for the Kansas City band Shiner.
Yeah.
That should be really interesting.
Yeah.
And then more specifically, the next 2 shows are all about the band. October 24th, right here, First Street Bar in Encinitas, one of the album release parties, if you will. And then coming up November 8th, Panama 66, your old stomping grounds, the second of a release party.
Yeah.
That's such a perfect venue for this band. I love seeing you there.
Yeah, it's we've been there, I think, for many years actually, because we played there. It's probably been 12 years we've been playing there since right after they opened. That's a sweet spot. Yeah, actually, so Jeff Motch, who runs that place, so I knew him because he was the art director at Cargo Records when I was putting out records right after high school, 30 years ago. And so I met him there, and he was helping us with our artwork. And then years later, he actually reached out and he said, "I got this place. You guys would be perfect." And then we've been there ever since. It's kind of been our favorite spot.
Maybe you get a free drink or 2?
Well, when you play, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
All right. Last question. Any shout-outs? Anybody needs some recognition from the band? Someone who's helped you along the way?
Yeah, probably I'd have to give a shout out to Kenseth, who's our bass player.
Former member.
Yeah, for a decade. And actually, 2 of the songs on the new record are, he wrote a big part of those songs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, he's a really creative force. Yeah.
And our cello player.
Yeah, and
That's right.
yeah, my mom plays cello on the record.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a family band because Carl, the trumpeter, is my brother.
Yeah, he looks like you.
Yeah, yeah.
I was going to ask.
And then my mom plays on the record.
Wow.
Yeah.
World famous. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is she on more than one track?
She's on 2 tracks. She's
That's-
actually on all the records, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never knew that factoid. That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we got one more to close out the set here. Looks like, according to my notes, we've got Pedro Pistol.
Yes.
And
This one's the newest. This one's going to be on the next record. So this is a brand new one.
excellent. All right. Montalban Quintet, Pacific View Sessions.
Thanks for having us, by the way.
Of course.
Yes.
All right. Well, Montalban Quintet, thank you so much for coming in. It was the most excellent performance. Loved having you. Hopefully it won't be another 7 years before we perform. We're all in the same room. The new album, Sinfonia, we'll be checking it out. And the second album that's in the pipeline, we'll be checking that one out too. That's all I got. See you on the circuit.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Of course.